progress. This is just a guideline to see how he's doing week to week. So I usually get as accurate as I can. I go for the biggest spots. Right here, he's about 3, just under 3.5. Which is down from last time. All right.
So what I haven't, he looks so much different. Even just what's it been 2 weeks since I saw him?
Yep. Look at that back thickness. But now when I go in the sub, there's different areas you can squeeze where you don't get the thickness. But I usually try to find the thickest spot, and then I just get a light squeeze. And the thing is, you want to be consistent with this. Say someone else does it, they go in a different spot, but we do this every single week as a guideline to see what's happening, so we can it helps the coach.
And the thickest spot is so you get the best reading for how much.
Because the thing is a lot of guys will pinch, especially in the kidney area. They'll pinch in different areas. You go closer to the spine, it's a lot thinner than out by the kidney or out by the love handles here. What happens is you get lower readings, and then people think their body fat percentage is better than what it is.
But really, just thinner skin there in general that they don't. So
yeah, you just hold. He doesn't have much fat. His is gone, but typically by the spine, there's not much there. But like here, you go here, there's a lot more thicker. But he's minimal. His pinches are true pinches, and that's why when I start with people, I do worst case scenario. In the big spots. And I don't even care what the body fat percentage is. I care what their total measurements are. It's in millimeters, and we go by that. But ultimately, none of this matters. What matters is what he looks like on stage.
This is very true. Yeah,
that's what matters.
But they just help you guide with his feeding and stuff. Right?
Yeah. And then this can help me. Should I give him more carbs? Should I give him less carbs? Should I give him more protein? Because it will tell me his lean mass. It will tell me his how much pounds of fat. And those are the two things that I care about. Are his pounds of fat and lean mass.
Okay.
All right, so now we're going to do that kidney area back here. Turn a little bit, Brady. We'll get it. All right. All right. Let's get that. Let me get your suprailiac right here. Turn a little bit. Right in here.
With the oblique.
See, this is it's a suprailiac, but the oblique area. Another thing, you go closer to the armpit, to the middle. It's higher. I go over here. It's lower. But you want to be consistent where you go. He was a 5 last time. He's a 5. 5. Basically, I want everything 5 or lower when he's on stage. Mm-hmm. And then his pinches are under 45. He's already, last week, last time I did this, his pinches are ready. Well, he's 45. He's ready in the low 40s on pinches, and he's still 4 weeks out. Mm-hmm. So, with him, it's just, with a guy like this, you want to keep his size and his fullness on stage, and not, you want him. We still want to get him paper thin. We want he's a young kid, 21 years old, which a lot of times younger kids have thicker skin, but older people from dieting and staying away from the dairy and different things, their skin will thin out, and that's what we're going for, is a little bit thinner skin, and just have him freaky on stage, and symmetry and good size filled out. So
the real thin skin, when you see those guys, that's usually over time, like a maturity thing.
Yeah, extreme dieting and cardio also. This is it's 5 on the money again. Really, I've been trying to slow him down, but he's still losing weight, and I'm trying to keep him from not going into a metabolic crash or a metabolic slide, which that's when you get depleted, you start looking like an oyster, and you're not. I give him a lot of food, and he stays big and full and healthy.
You're not using keto or anything with him, right?
No. And I very seldom do that. And you should only do keto for so long. I use the carbs. In bodybuilding, carbs are your friend. When you're real lean, You just gotta, but some people overdo it on the carbs too. You gotta find the amount of carbs that can keep them full, keep them fueled, keep them pumped, but not going to fat storage. So let's get your quad right here. Yep, and he's real consistent. I mean, the thing is, I give him more food, and his pinches usually come down or stay the same. Sometimes they go up a little bit, but you know, it depends on the individual. With him, I'm not. We got to make sure his legs pop from the front and the back. We got to make sure his legs stay filled out, and we'll be good. I just got to get his calf now.
You're fine.
So actually, put your left foot up there. You can put it on. Alright. That's getting super, that skin's getting real thin there. A lot of people say they're holding water. Well, usually the water is squishy, and you know if it's water or not. A lot of times it's not water, it's fat. I mean, it's like you're not holding. I mean, a lot of people do hold water.
But people just don't want to say they're fat.
People always say, "Oh, it's water, it's water," but
Just hold a lot of water. No,
it's fat. You got to work harder. You got to do more cardio. You got to diet harder. I mean, some people do have to work a lot harder than other people. So I mean, his pitches are down again overall, relatively the same. You know, now what I'm gonna do. So we did the pinches. This is what I do. I do this every single week going into the show, and then we take him into the posing room, and we pose him, and we look at his posing, improve his posing, and when he poses, I go through the symmetry round. I look for the fullness of the muscles. I look for detail. I look for to see if he's flat. I look at muscle hardness. I look for dryness. I just see like every week I'll make changes. After I pose him, we'll come back in here. We'll make the changes. The next week we'll do it again, so I can see what's happening with the changes. What the changes are doing. So let's go pose. Yeah. That's better. That's better with that. You're right there. Hold it. Don't look so tired, man. All right, quarter turn to the right.
I'm gonna lie, I'm holding a fart. That's
Don't even rip one, man. All right. Okay, quarter turn to the right. I'm looking right through here as this is getting tighter and tighter, because that's usually an area right here where people hold. You want to see lines, through the legs. You want to see the shoulders are nice and full. All right, quarter turn to the right. And as he gets leaner, you'll see more lines coming in.
For the chest and stuff.
Yep. And then even right through here, as he dries out and gets tighter, I mean you'll see more lines coming in. Quarter turn to the right.
And this is without a pump or anything. This is right.
Yeah, this is just the first thing. How many meals you got in your one? Okay. Yeah, and this is with one meal in him, so he is a little flat because he only has one meal in him. But a day of the show, he'll have a lot more than one meal in him. Okay, front double bicep. And side chest. See, he's got real nice lines in his legs and the side. Every week you can see more and more details.
Well, just from the last time I was here, it's insane.
Yeah, and his glutes are coming in, which he doesn't need glutes for classic physique, but yeah, he's looking still pretty full, pretty hard. Okay, let's hit your back double bicep. This is where I want him to pop a little bit more, is on his legs, in the front and the back. Sometimes he's posing, so I get on him about the posing. A lot of guys forget about their legs. That low back is real tight. It's the food supplement cardio program. Just the food, just the supplements, just the cardio. So right now he's doing 25 minutes a week, 5 times per week. We got meal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The thing with you is we gotta make you hit weight, get you down. What's the lowest you weighed in this week?
198.
198.
Yeah,
So I mean,
the day before the cheat meal.
I mean, I would like him to hit weight without cutting water. So what we'll do here, let's go ahead and pull out that green apple in the morning. Let's switch your oats in the morning.
I'm Brady King, 5'8.5". Right now I weigh about 200. I'm going to be 190 on stage for Classic Physique. We're about 4.5 weeks out from Grand Rapids and 7.5 out from Junior Nationals.
I'm Jenny Erhardt. I'm 22 years old, and I'm going to do figure, and I weigh about 167 right now. Yeah.
What class in the past, what class have you been?
Oh, it just depends on how many girls are there, but I'm 5'6", so.
You said figure?
Yeah, I said figure. I said I'm doing figure.
Okay.
Are you going to do juniors also, or are you going to wait and see how long?
It just depends. I have to qualify, so it depends if how I do at Grand Rapids.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Go ahead and you can start actually. If you want to take us through the workout today, you did back and biceps. And
Yep.
talk about the movements and what you like about each movement.
We started with some pull-ups. I do assisted pull-ups just to warm up our lats. I really like starting out with that because it, warms up your lats.
I always start with pull-ups because I have to worry about width. I lose width very, very, very easily. So I always start out with pull-ups, and every 2 weeks or 3 weeks I do a thing called death by pull-ups, where I just do 5 sets of regular wide grip till failure, 5 sets of like the inverted row grip till failure, and 5 sets of reverse till failure. But that's like always a staple. She needs width too, so I always make her do pull-ups even though she hates them. But yeah, after we did pull-ups, we did some pull-downs. Again, that was more for her. Today, right now my back is kind of at the point where we need it to be. So I just put a little bit of blood into it for width with things like the pull-downs and pull-ups. The thickness is perfectly fine on my back now too, so I don't really need to do many rows. And then, we did the superset. We superset 2 hammer strength machines, the high row and low row. That to me, you can kind of turn your back and contract in certain spots to hit different spots. But I use the first hammer strength machine to hit my rear delts, actually my rhomboids. I allow my rhomboids and my scapula to completely open up and retract, and then close back together. And then on the low row, I tuck my glutes up underneath of me as if I was posing. That way, whenever I'm doing the low rows, I'm hitting my lower back a lot harder.
Lat pull-downs with the hammer strength.
Yeah.
We did the hammer strength lat pull-downs and superset it with the, I don't know what machine's that's called, but it's a row machine. And
I carry.
the Icarian machine. And I like that just because it hits your back really well, it hits your lower back really well, and you can contract really well, so.
And yeah, same thing with the Icarian row machine. If you tuck your glutes underneath you whenever you're doing your rows, you can really focus on the low back and the Christmas tree area and the separation from your lats and the Christmas tree. So your spinal erectors.
Tell people about why you're curious to single arm those.
Oh yeah, and then right after we did those, we superset it with push downs, like regular cable push downs. And then we do those every week, and we also do single arm, I really don't know what to call them, single arm twisty pulls. Cable twisty lat pulls. There's no name for it. Basically, I just I allow it to stretch my lat the whole way up, and I come back down. I contract really, really hard in my serratus intercostals area, front lat. But it also crushes the rear delt, hits the teres major and minor really hard. I mean, it hits the lat and the low lat too. I mean, it's a very, very good movement to hit all. But I specifically use it, and I focus on my contraction in the very, very front and I contract in the front lat, and I worry about my serratus. Everything else is just kind of like added to it when it gets hit.
I like that one because you can contract really hard on your lat. So we did biceps next.
Yeah.
So next we did, I don't know what that machine's called, the preacher curl machine. And we focused on biceps.
Notice how I ended up holding the microphone for her.
Because you talk too much. So we did the preacher curl machine, and then we did 10-10-10s. So
Yeah, I never did those before. That was all her.
actually, Jay Cutler taught us how to do this when we went to Vegas. So that's where I got it from. So I usually do them sitting down, but today we did them standing up. So you do 10 together, so both of your arms, and then 10 single arms, and then 10 hammer curls. Really fatigues your biceps, so I like it.
Yeah, I liked it because I get really sick of doing hammer curls heavy. I hate it. I have a steel plate in my hand, so any reverse curls or hammer curls hurts really, really, really bad.
You know I was going to ask, right?
In my old days,
Is that Randy?
I got a little.
Beat up his best friend.
Yeah, we tied one on and ended up. We started wrestling. And see, we're wrestling drunk. This is the problem. We were wrestling drunk when we were 18. That's never good. I mean, that's leads to problems every time. We're wrestling. He said something about my mom. I said something about his mom. He said something about my girlfriend. I punched him. And then my hand broke. we were best friends again the next day. It was all good. No, he's in the Army. Yeah. Yeah, he's doing well for himself, but if you knew him, though, you would understand. If anybody watches this and knows Randy Oler, you understand why I punched him in the head. Why he is somebody that you would want to punch in the head. Still my best friend, but I still want to punch him in the head again.
Anything after that, or was that it?
I think that
Was
was
it?
it.
What's diet like for both of you guys going on this show?
Very different between us. Very different between the two.
Lanes.
My diet, super high carb, a lot of food. I'm eating six meals a day, not including my post-workout shake. So 7 with the shake and the Gatorade too. The Gatorade's not counted in any of that. You know, my last meal before bed is the most delicious protein shake in the world. It's a cup of oats, a tablespoon of peanut butter, and 2 scoops of chocolate casein protein. So I get to eat good. I still have barbecue sauce on all of my food. Yeah, I still get to eat good.
I, on the other hand, I carb cycle, so I'm pretty much at low to no carbs, probably like 40 to 50 carbs a day. And then on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays is my high carb days. I think it's 150 to 200 grams of carbs. So those are my happy days. Other than that, we're good at 6 meals a day. High protein, but for a girl, you know, that's not as high as you. So very different preps.
Actually, this year my protein is a lot lower than it normally is. That's something very different for me. I used to do 8 ounces of meat with every meal, and my post-workout meal was I would just do a little bit higher carb. I got an extra cup of rice with that meal, but I had 50 grams of protein in every meal. Now I have like 35 to 40. It's a lot different. Plus a post-workout shake now instead of my meal being post-workout, so it's a lot different. And everything else is kind of the same. I usually get to prep pretty easily. John hasn't pulled any food. I don't expect him to pull any food. We're getting really close to weight without even trying. So.
No, Tad. I don't know how to say his last name. Indui?
Annoy.
Inouye?
Yeah.
Tad, the diet coach.
Okay.
Yeah. That's about it.
So Brady, the hair, are you going to keep it?
Can I turn it off?
I don't think so.
Can I turn it off or is it on?
I thought so.
Cool. All right. The hair.
We'll have to trim it up.
Yeah, there's your answer. There you go. There you go.
Your hair reminds me of mine though. Like when it gets to a certain point, it's just.
Well, it'll look good. It'll look good at first. Like whenever I first got here, it was flowing. It looked nice. Like I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna. Second I start sweating it, and it gets humid. It's just like boosh. Yeah, and it's really curly too.
Gel in it, I think.
No, I will never put gel in my hair. Don't ever listen to her. You guys will never catch me with gel in my hair. Nope. 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 I will never put anything in my hair. Never. Never.
So that's just natural, huh?
Yes.
That's funny. I thought you had something.
No, I will never put stuff in my hair. But I do try to keep it cut. I just was broke this week, so it didn't get. Actually, I had the money. I just didn't have the time.
How about the beard? Though? Do you keep the beard?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I just trim it up. Yeah. Yeah, I've never stepped on stage without a beard. So
I don't think there's any one way. Some people like that.
I think the clean shave, man.
Never heard anything.
I think I'm gonna cut my beard
You,
though.
well, you go to clean shave, and it's like you went from like somewhat diet face to like now you look like a zombie because you shaved. So I'd rather at least be kind of attractive still. You know, I don't have a completely sunken in face. Like that's what you look like.
Like an alien.
The alien face.
How about cardio for both you guys right now?
I got 25 minutes 5 times a week. We just upped that to 6. And I was told that we're probably going to cut it next week completely. So I'm going to let her take over after that.
Every day I wake up and do 45 minutes of fasted cardio on the Stairmaster. And after my workout every day, I do 45 minutes of Stairmaster. So that is the secret to my physique.
What's it like with both of you? As far as I know, this is your first time trying both of you together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's it? Is it working out well, or how is it? I've heard good things from people. I've heard bad things sometimes.
All right, but it's actually not that bad. I mean, we don't ever fight because of prep. Like we don't really have many. We have little tiffs, but we don't ever fight because of prep. Our fights are like fights that would happen if we were prepping or not, because we're both crazy.
Well,
so
we don't really know that though, because we haven't been together long enough to even. Like we were in the honeymoon phase, and now we're in prep. So it's like I don't even know how we are when we're not in prep. So it could be.
It's been like.
We have attitudes.
We're both very selfish too. Like you have to be when it comes to buying. That's the hard part, is being selfish while trying to like tend and care for the other person. Because like you want to, but then it's like, oh well, I don't have this done. So like, I mean, you have to prioritize yourself if you're gonna win. And you know, if she needs something done and I need something done, I'm gonna do what I need done first. And I expect her to do the same thing for herself though as well, which. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, yeah.
How long have you guys been dating?
It's been about 9 months. Yeah, coming up on 9 now.
You met you were in Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah, I lived in Pittsburgh when we met. Yep. Yeah, she drove down 8 hours to meet me in West Virginia, near Wheeling, West Virginia, which is where I was going to school at the time. I wasn't in school at the time. It was just saved us 2 hours if she drove there and I just met her there. I made her drive the way down to me, though.
2 hours, though. You're so nice.
I drove 2 whole hours. She drove 8. That's like 50-50, right?